Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. It is December 14th. So I've been really enjoying this process of just becoming a creator, showing you guys more of ins and outs of training and bodybuilding and the lifestyle. As much as I want to dive further into like full days of eating and personal life, truth be told, guys, I don't really do much outside the bodybuilding process. And because this is my life, this is my lifestyle. It's become fully encapsulated into who I am. If I'm outside the gym, obviously I'll go do some things with my partner, enjoy movies, go out, do those traditional things. But I would like to kind of keep that personal and not really have a camera around all the time. So I know some of you guys have been asking to show more of the lifestyle, but truth be told, it's just wanting to keep it private and kind of just away from the camera and just keep the training, the eating, the whole parts of bodybuilding. I'll show you guys. More than welcome to show you guys. But a huge thing, we hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate every single one of you that subscribed so far. I've got a lot of great messages, a lot of great feedback about what you guys like, what you guys want to see more of. And truthfully, every one of those interactions, every one of those messages, some of you guys coming here at NewTech and see me and have given me feedback and voice your support. And it truly does mean a lot. I want to pour as much as I can into this and really give back to you guys and show you guys the real and the raw. So again, thank you guys for 1K. We hit that goal before the end of the year, and that was like a goal of mine to do, and we accomplished that. So it feels really, really good. And the feedback and everything we've gotten with my man Andrew here, we're creating something really good that you guys who enjoy watching. And without him, I wouldn't be able to create all this content for you guys. So we'll keep at it. We're headstrong into the new year with more content to come. I'm at the tail end of my off season here. Just a quick update for you guys. I'm at the tail end of my off season here where food is kind of leveled out. We've definitely increased food to, I would say, a high threshold here. We've probably been holding here. Body weight's been consistent anywhere from like 238, 239, 241 on any given day. And that just depends on like training. So let's say I hit a hard leg day, my weight will probably rise or fluctuate upwards just because of extra water retention, inflammation, things like that. So again, it's really important to get that kind of daily average. I wasn't a big proponent of weighing myself every single day, but since working with Cameron now, we do take daily weights just to track it. I know that might be difficult for some of you guys out there. I feel like a lot of people tie too much to the scale. But guys, it's just a number at the end of the day. You cannot let an arbitrary thing, such as a number on the scale, be the sole purveyor or dictator of your progress. It's just but a measure. And that's something I like to educate my clients about. And it's something that I personally had to overcome because I wasn't a big fan of the scale. I'd always weigh myself once a week and go off that. All right. But the daily tracking of everything has kept me more on point, and I have my coach Cameron to thank for that. One thing I wanted to get into talking about here in this video, so you guys have seen this training before. So you're gonna see some highlight clips of today's training session. It's push variation B, or actually push variation A, excuse me. So you guys have seen all the movements, breaking down the training. I've taken you guys through that. So what you guys see here is just some B-roll. But I really want to get into the topic of talking about the off season. I think that this topic here, diving more into it, getting deeper from my perspective as a top tier professional who's been doing this for a long time. I don't think that not a lot of people out there talk about the off season. I watched a video from Wesley Vissers the other day, and he was talking about it. He's made a couple of videos of talking about his off season, which were great. So you guys, obviously, if you watch my channel, I'm pretty sure you guys probably watch Wesley's channel, but it kind of inspired me to talk about my own personal recollection here of the off season, what it's been like, some of the challenges, and what it really is like. A lot of people out there have their own perspective about the off season, what it entails, what it requires, especially at a high level. It's very different. As you progress through the sport, off seasons really get different. And especially that's also catered to the direction you want your career to go and how fast you want to progress, and if you truly want to do something in this sport. Early on in my bodybuilding career, I would say I wasn't the best at off seasons. I really wasn't the best. It wasn't until the second half of my career here, if you split my career in two so far, now being 8 years as a pro, this is going to be my 8th year as a pro. The first few years were terrible off seasons. I didn't even really treat off season as seriously as I could have. I will go back and say I probably turned pro maybe too young. It came fairly quickly to me. I didn't have that maturity time. So when I became a pro, I had to go through that growing pains and period of maturity, understanding what it really meant to be a professional, what it truly entails to be a professional, and what's required to be a professional. Taking all that experience, I'm able to cultivate that and mentor that into clients that also want to be professionals. So you get that value of experience from me being able to mentor you onto all the mistakes that I made early on in my career so that you guys don't make the same. And I've been very proud to help multitude of individuals. Under my coaching, I've had 5 pro cards thus far in my coaching career. And it's very awesome. It's very powerful, and it's very meaningful to help people achieve their lifelong dreams like that. But I take my experience and I help cultivate that to teach you guys how to become professionals, how to be true professionals. And that's what this video is primarily going to be about, me talking about the off season and how early on I really didn't take it that seriously, and it showed. I wasn't making the changes I needed to make. Show after show, season after season, I was pretty stagnant early on in my career. Like my first year, coming out the gate, I remember the first 2 pro shows I did were washes. What was it, 3rd call out, 4th call out, a whopping 16 by my name, meaning I didn't even place. But those were good lessons. Come back next year, I took those lessons and I was too preemptive. I didn't take enough time to really build that pro caliber physique, get that pro level condition, or really mature the muscle, mature the physique that I needed to. So 2nd year as a pro wasn't the best either. It wasn't until like the 3rd or 4th year I started to get some traction and take proper time between shows, between seasons, and learn through that vital experience and do the off season properly. Now, a cold hard truth here that many of you guys need to realize and understand, that wanting to get into the sport or in the sport currently, and if you're not doing it, the off season doesn't change from prep. Prep and the off season are pretty much the same thing. The discipline, the consistency, the day-to-day, it's pretty much the same. Just the motives and the goals really change. Yeah, in prep you have a deadline. In prep you have to meet a show deadline, you have to be ready by a certain date. The off season, if done well and done properly, yeah, you have some shows in mind next season, next year, but it really should be dictated by progress, week in and week out. That's why, like, big mistakes I see a lot of people make is not being accountable in the off season, not doing check-ins with themselves or their coach, dropping off, falling off. Oh, I'll pick back up later when I'm like 5 months out of a show. I'll start checking in again, and by then it's already too late. So a really important point here that you guys need to understand is that the off season doesn't change from prep. Prep and the off season are pretty much the same thing. Goals and just the goals change, the deadlines change. Obviously, the food changes, protocol changes, strategy changes from the two, but the baseline fundamentals of the process don't change. You're still in the gym to improve, and you want to be making the best out of every single session, because even in the off season, yeah, you have limited sessions because you got to get ready for the next season, and depending on when you plan to do shows, it limits your capacity or your ability and the amount of sessions you have to truly make those improvements. And also about the runway. Off season, it's really dictated by how optimized you stay, how disciplined you stay. If you are too free with your meals and you're too relaxed on those, you let your body composition get out of control, you eat too much, you don't keep optimal composition, it starts to affect your training, your sleep, your nutrient partitioning, your ability to put on muscle. So off season then gets cut short. Then you have to do a mini cut, reset, and then you kind of kill your momentum there. I see that too often as well. So again, the off season, the off season is vitally important for those of you that are truly trying to take your physiques and try to take the sport seriously and do something meaningful in the sport. And too often I just see season after season, year after year, a lot of competitors out there, both amateur and professional, not do the things they need to do. And they have all the potential in the world to achieve what they set out to achieve. It's just they're not doing what they need to do in the off season. One of the cold hard facts that I began to realize in the off season was that it requires everything that is in a prep, but more of it in a sense, because the discomforts you feel in prep, it's just on the other opposite side of the spectrum of that. So when you're in prep, you're hungry, you're tired, you're lethargic, you can't sleep because you're so lean, maybe joints ache, maybe you're a little bit sore because you're kind of under recovering, you're in deficit. But all those things also translate to the other side of it where you're trying to put on as much muscle as possible. So as a bodybuilder professionally, you're pushing the envelope on both ends of the spectrum to the extreme. On one side of it, you're trying to get to the best condition possible. So that's one extreme. And you're trying to hold on as much muscle as possible. You're trying to showcase your best physique. On the other hand, in the off season, you're trying to build as much muscle as possible while still staying as lean as possible. That also comes with its slew of sacrifices and unforeseen things. A number of that is some of those discomforts, inability to sleep because you're heavier, the body weight weighs on you. Your joints also hurt because you are heavier, you're carrying around that extra weight. Your training is hard and consistent because you have the food to drive that training. Even though recovery is there because you should be sleeping well, food is high, things like that, you're not in a deficit, you still have those, your body still feels pretty beat up because you are pushing for that progress. These are normal things that, again, I'm trying to talk about these things that I don't see a lot of being spoken of in the industry or in the sport. Just trying to give you guys more insight. And it becomes cumbersome. Luckily for myself personally, I don't have any sleeping issues, even though I am the biggest and leanest I've ever been. Luckily I have a partner who lives with me and she kind of monitors when I sleep and things like that and how I'm sleeping. I don't snore. I don't have to have a sleep apnea machine, any of those things, thankfully. So my sleep's been pretty good and consistent. I make sure that stays consistent year round because I realized how important that sleep routine, that sleep hygiene, that sleep foundation is in both phases of a prep, of bodybuilding actually, whether you're in prep or off season. So I always try to keep that sleep routine fundamental and essential all throughout the year. And it does help in whatever I'm trying to do. The cliches of bending over to tie your shoes, putting on socks, putting on pants even does get difficult. And my point with all this is I can go into a laundry list of discomforts and sacrifices and things like that with the off season that just make it kind of unbearable for most people. But the truth of the matter is, yeah, it becomes an effect of your quality of life. Just like prep, when you're trying to get in the best shape, it affects quality of life. Both ends of the spectrum here affect quality of life. And that's where I see most people that don't really have the tolerance for that discomfort really kind of come up short. In the off season, if you're really trying to get as much progress as possible, you're really trying to elevate your physique, the sacrifices of discomfort, of carrying that extra weight around, joint pain, body feeling beat up, tired all the time, sleepy all the time, things like that, not wanting to go out because you have to go to the training session the next day or you have to recover from your training sessions. All these are realities. All these things are real and realities of the off season. And it weighs on people. It becomes like Groundhog Day. Imagine going from, those of you out there might understand, imagine going through prep and then having to carry all that prep, the same things that prep all throughout the year. I can see why people out there need a break from bodybuilding and aren't as consistent in the off season because it's difficult. Consistency in this sport is difficult, but truly the great ones year round are managing to do this almost 365, 24/7. I'm a real human being. I'll take a couple days off when the time is like around the holidays here. I have those non-negotiables. And even when I'm enjoying or celebrating, I'm still not missing meals. I'm still getting all my nutrition in. I'll have a meal off plan here or there. I'll still be present and enjoy the time. But it's through that practice as a professional over the years, I've been able to manufacture this lifestyle to fit into these needs. And if you don't practice this, and you don't go through the discomforts, the abrasiveness of trying to really encapsulate yourself into the requirements of trying to be a good bodybuilder, you'll never get there. That's why I see a lot of people continuously fall short year after year. But yeah, so in Wesley's video, after watching it, he was talking about cutting his off-season short because he has kids. Luckily, I don't have children yet, so I don't have to. Luckily, I don't have to deal with that. I can't imagine being where I am now and having to deal with little toddlers running around, keeping up with their energy. I'm definitely. It's funny at times while watching a movie or watching a show, I'll just be dozing off and sleeping. And it just comes with it because your body is tired. You're really pushing your body to put on as much muscle as possible, eating all the time, the excess calories, all these things your body's processing, it weighs on you. And some people just can't bear those things, and I get it. But hopefully that me speaking about these things shines a little light onto what's really required and what's real out there. By no means, I don't rarely talk about this, and this is just an opportunity to be more real and transparent with you guys, because it's not complaining. I'm not complaining about these things at all. And I guess that's why people out there don't really talk about these things or shine light on these things, because I think nowadays people don't want to seem, they want to put a facade out there. They want to make it seem like bodybuilding's like the toughest thing out there, or like they're so hardcore. Guys, bodybuilding's not hardcore. You eat 5-6 meals a day. You try to focus on getting the best sleep as possible. You go into an air-conditioned gym. You train, like here, go into an air-conditioned gym. I train on the best equipment. I'm buying the best food. I'm taking the best supplements for my health. I'm monitoring blood markers. Bodybuilding's not hardcore. It's not hard. What is hard is the discipline, the sacrifice, the consistency required over a long period of time. And I'm not just talking about one off season. I'm not talking about one season, one show, none of that. It's a lifetime, it's a body of work. So I hope this adds to your guys' perspective out there when you see a great physique. It's earned. I don't care how much drugs you take, I don't care how much food you eat, what your genetics are, things like that, because those things are all great to have. But if you don't have the discipline, the consistency, the time put into this, you're still not going to see the best of it, right? It's not going to, a magnificent physique isn't going to manifest itself just out of thin air. So, yeah, let's see how long I've been talking here. And the off season is just more than, oh, okay, I'm going to dedicate X amount of time to doing an off season. It should be methodical. There's a definitive approach to an off season. There's different phases in an off season. All throughout the year, a calendar year or a calendar season, you should be doing different phases. Whether you understand those phases yourself or your coaches or your coach understands it and putting you through it. But it's not just, okay, I'm going to bulk for 3 months and that's it. So oftentimes I see people kind of give themselves these deadlines or timelines, not understanding, hey, they can actually truly maximize the off seasons for longer than what they're giving themselves. They're cutting themselves short, or they're actually not just, they're taking a fundamentally wrong approach from the beginning. They're in an inoptimal state, and then they'll just start to bulk from an inoptimal state and then just put on body fat, and they won't actually put on muscle. And then when they start to go to take it all off and try to diet it off and get into condition, one, it becomes harder, and two, you start to realize you didn't really change much. But yeah, guys, with all these videos, I just try to be as clear, as real, as transparent as possible. I'm hoping to give you guys more insight about the sport, what goes into it, what it really takes, what it really requires. Let me know in the comments what other things you guys want to hear me talk about, go into deeper insight of. I just want to be an open book, keep it open dialogue, and show you guys more of the real and what it really takes. But yeah, so my off season here is coming to kind of a tail end. Then the seasons are on the horizon. So what's next for me is probably more so like a maintenance phase, where we're going to try to not push so the body's so hard. We're going to try to bring things back down and hold this new tissue, really solidify all the changes. Because the one fundamental mistake I see a lot of individuals make is that, so they'll bulk, and then all of a sudden, boom, sharp pivot, and they'll start to cut. You never give your body that time to hold that new tissue, to really let the body settle in and solidify. And that's a crucial mistake I see a lot of people make. So yeah, luckily me and my coach Cameron have been great. We see eye to eye on a lot of things. Ultimately, I'm following his guidance and his coaching. When I found a new coach, I really told myself, hey, I want to be an athlete again. I want to learn from another coach, because part of coaching is that mentorship aspect, teaching and being taught and continue to learn. And I look forward to it. I look forward to learning from him and seeing how he handles these phases and how he handles me as an athlete. But ultimately, yeah, we definitely see eye to eye on a lot of things, and stay tuned for this coming season. I'm very motivated. I'm in the best position I've ever been in from an off-season standpoint, from a growth standpoint, from a progress standpoint. And I'm excited to really showcase all that next year in hopes to qualify for the Olympia. Next year's Olympia is going to be very challenging because, again, you have to win 2 shows. So there's going to be probably half the amount of competitors. So last year there was about almost 70 guys, 65, 70 guys on stage. So there's probably going to be like 30. And those are going to be like the 30 best in the world, surely best in the world physiques up there. I'm excited to be one of them. So again, I thoroughly appreciate all you guys' support on this. The 1K subscribers, hitting that goal earlier than I expected. And I want to keep this channel growing and give you guys as much value as possible. So again, no script, no fancy edits, none of that. It's just me speaking my mind. So I hope it's coherent enough to follow along and understand. And again, guys, comment below any other topics you guys want me to speak about or shine light onto. But yeah, thank you guys again. I look forward to making more content as December goes, and also as prep starts and everything, and just bring you guys along the way. All right.